Alrighty, good morning everyone, and how are you today? Hope you are doing well under the shutdown system of the Cruiseathon. And it seems like Senator Ted Cruz has taken his crazies and the rest of the normal, wonderful Republicans, including Speaker Boehner, into the middle of the highway on traffic is coming fiercely, every lane is occupied, and woo, 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 woo. And they're standing there, and they're asking Ted Cruz angrily yesterday, so what should we do now? What's your strategy, my brother? They only found out that he ain't got no strategy. You see, sometimes the people who think they're smarter than everybody else in the world, they don't have a plan. How about that? Did you find out that they don't have a plan? I say good morning and welcome to the Diana White Show Live. This is it, because today is Thursday, and my golly, aren't we happy to see, as I welcome you from around the world and in the United States. I know lots of you around the world are going, what's wrong with those stupid people in America? But hear what it is. President Barack Hussein Obama is no longer running for any office. So he can now protect the office of the presidency. He's not just protecting Barack Obama. He's not just protecting Obamacare, or the Affordable Care Act, which some people think it's different. No, it's not. It's the same thing. He is protecting the office of the presidency. And for that, I say thank you, Mr. President, because in 2016, we have a new president, and whomever it is, at this point, it looks very dim like it could be a Republican, because I have a feeling, based on watching the Supernatural program with Sid Roth, that we are seeing the Obama that no one expected. And we're happy to see this Obama because there was a brother that I was watching that said this would happen. Because Obama is going to stand up strong, 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 as Senator Reid said yesterday after the meeting at the White House. So we have the president standing up strong, 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 because he's not just protecting Obama, he's protecting the presidency. So who knows? Come 2016, yeah? Someone else wins. And guess what happens? The other side, who is the minority, who does not have the White House, who does not have a majority in the Senate or a majority in the Congress, decides, okay, next president, I'm going to hold a gun to your head too. This is what I want, and if you don't give it to me, I'm going to shut the government down. And guess what? I'm not going to pay the debts that I incurred already. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I put it to you, and I ask you to put on your hat of intelligence. What shall we do? Okay, here we are now. Was it day 3? The Republicans are in glee. They're happy. They're content. Michelle Bachmann said, this is what I wanted. It's done. And then they're stupid enough to go and send Priebus, who is the head of the RNC, to go out with his waving of his $100,000 check to pay the security guards to open up the memorial so that the vets can get in while they're trying to buy some votes for $100,000. I don't think the veterans would be that stupid to vote for a crazy party who cannot control their people. And yes, Republicans, you just realized that Mr. Ted Cruz had no plan, had no strategy. He just wanted, as a new senator from Texas, to come to the floor of the Senate, disrespect Feinstein, throw his weight around, and I think he has a little bit on, and then put a gun to the head of the president and say, I hate your Obamacare. And that's your baby, but guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to tell you that you got to repeal it, we got to defund it, and it will be no more, because guess what? Michelle Bachmann thinks it's crack cocaine, Obamacare is. And so, Mr. Ted Cruz, he thinks it's a sugar addiction. So what is it, America? The fact that you crashed the government website about the Affordable Care Act or Obamacare, same thing. Don't forget it's the same thing, people. It's the same thing. No matter what your state is calling it, in Kentucky, in Florida, in Ohio, in wherever, it is Obamacare. So should we then rob? I'm not saying that Obamacare is wonderful and it has no glitches and has no problems, because I've started reading the bill myself. It's long, so you take a day and you read one page and you read another page and you try to get it. But the Republicans just simply want to get away with it. Do away with it. Give me what I want. So thank you, President Obama, for standing up to the Republicans, and do not back down, because you cannot hold the presidency of the United States of America hostage and take the American people along with you. And then what you do? Oh, here we go. I'll release this part of the government that I like, and I'll release that part over there that I like. Democrats, stand firm. Stand firm. Stand your ground is when that word works. Yeah? So, Michelle Bachmann, you know, the healthcare law is crack cocaine. What does she mean by that? Does all poor people, 40 million strong, who can't get health care? And it's not just poor people who can't get insurance, health insurance. There are people who have pre-existing conditions who can't get insurance. There are young people who can't afford insurance, and they should have it, because they never know when they're going to get sick, or some crazy nurse is going to stick something into their IV and make them crazy and make them disabled. I'm speaking from experience, because I know. Been there, done that. I am ready and here for this healthcare thing. Because remember now, all the people in government, the congressmen and the senators and the congresswomen, when they retire, their pension is safe, unlike the cops in Detroit. Their health care is safe. They have nothing to worry about. So why would they give a crap if you don't have health care? Have you thought about that? Stupid people who are out demonstrating and talking about and supporting these Republicans? Who are these 20%ers? Who are these people? Do they have a brain for themselves, or do they just get led by the biggest voice of the crazy in Congress? So I wonder, what is happening to us in America? Are we so filled with hate for President Barack Hussein Obama, and they hate that middle name, that we're willing to kill Americans with it because we hate so much? And yet we profess that we're Christians? If I ever hear Michelle Bachmann say one more time that she's a Christian, I'm going to just do something to my TV. It is not the Christian thing to hate the poor. It is not the Christian thing to hate and disrespect the president. And in his interview with Harwood from CNBC, he stood up for the first time, in my view. He has, as he said, bent over backwards for the Republicans. So now they want to take his child. You know, those movies that you watch when people take your child hostage and you got to do anything to get the child back? So now they're saying, give me your baby. And any parent that's willing to give up their baby ain't no good parent. I'm telling you that. I don't care whether you tell me about, oh, I'm trying to do it to get them a better life. I don't want to hear it. Yeah? It's your baby. You take care of it. And believe me, we all have some conservative thing in us. Like I do believe that women should not be having babies they can't afford to have. Married or unmarried for that matter. If you can't afford to take care of it, don't tell me, oh, God will provide. No. You cannot afford to have this person that you're going to be responsible for at least 20 years. Now it seems like 30. In some places it's 40. Some places it's forever. So what are you going to do as Americans? Are you just going to sit back and let the Republicans roll all over us? And act like we're fools? And we keep re-electing them and sending them back to Congress? Oh no! Take that back. You see, they've gerrymandered all of the districts so that all these crazies, they have safe districts with crazy people in them that will always keep sending them back to Congress or back to the Senate. So guess what? You don't matter. They don't give a crap about you. And if you think that politicians care about people, no, they care about P-O-W-E-R. It's pronounced power. That's what they want. Power over you so they can go to Washington, eat their big steak and their lobster and their shrimp, rub shoulders with the movie stars, and the big wigs like Oprah and all the guys who run Wall Street and the hedge funds, like Jamie Dimon. But guess what? The Republicans, they hate Wall Street. But guess what? They take the money from Wall Street to run their campaigns, don't they? Yes, they do. So what do we do with these guys? Should we fire all of them? Like Reagan fired all of those air traffic controllers when they were acting crazy? That's what we should do. And I don't care how safe their district is supposed to be. The people in the district need to get up and stand up for their rights and their mind. Just kind of exercise your mind a little bit. And realize that you're being lied to every single day. And Governor Christie, oh, I love Governor Christie, but Governor Christie, please, you're not the president. You are not negotiating with terrorists. So please don't sit in New Jersey on a show and say, oh, if I were president, I would put them all in the room and no one can leave until we get an agreement. Republicans you're talking about? Doesn't work like that. Hey, if you become President Christie in 2016, my brother, I promise you, the Democrats will do the same thing to you like the Republicans are doing to President Barack Hussein Obama, the black man. Don't forget. I wonder, what do you think? Governor Christie, just think about it before you speak. And then, then, Ann Romney. Remember her? The wife of the very rich Mitt Romney, who hates States, 47% of us. It was caught on tape. No one lied. No one made it up. It was there. And then what? So Mrs. Romney says, if her husband had a chance for the American people to know him better, they would have elected him, and wow, there would have been no government shutdown, and Obamacare would have been repealed and defunded. Lie. Who told you that? Go and dream again. Get some more visions, because that would not have happened, because we do know who Mitt Romney is. Corporations are people too. Does that ring a bell? 47%. Does that ring a bell? Does it ring a bell about him talking about President Obama wasn't even born here, and he is born in Michigan, and he knows where he and Ann was, which hospital? Wow. It's Thursday morning, so we're going to take a call from Judith from People 490. Hey, Judith, how are you?
I'm doing great, Diana. How are you this morning?
I am doing wonderful, but I'm not so sure the American people are doing so well because of what's going on. But anyway, what's on your mind today? I was reading a lot about manners. Manners. Take your manners to the interview.
I didn't hear that. My phone just got knocked.
Okay. I was trying to share with you that I was reading a lot about taking your manners to the interview when you go with you.
That's what I want to talk about this morning.
Okay. What am I, a mind reader or what? Oh my God. Let me tell you, man, I'm good. I'm really good.
I'm just going to give a few tips on that. So that I shared with you that I have to run.
Okay, I know how it goes. We understand, but we'll take whatever little you give us today.
We have interview process going on right now, and that just hit me yesterday. And say, you know what? I probably need to give some tips on that this morning. And I'm talking about the interview process when you are taking out to lunch. You might not even realize it, that you're being observed very keenly, because it is a part of the process.
Okay.
They want to see your behavior in public.
That's a good trick.
Yes, they want to see how you behave when you go out to represent their company. They want to hear how you communicate with others at your table. That if they should hire you and send you out to meet one of their clients, how you would represent them.
Okay.
So that is some of the reasons why people would take you out, or prospective employer would take you out to lunch. But, oh man, I have it made. They're taking me to lunch. That means something is good. No, it's not always the case. They are testing you. It's a part of your interview. So here we go.
Okay, so when that means when your prospective employer invites you to lunch, don't say, "Hooray, I've gotten the job yet."
Right.
Okay.
They're testing you.
I got it.
So when you get there, in some cases you might get there before they do. Don't try to push anything. You take the seat and you wait.
Okay.
Once they arrive, then you stand up. Look the person or persons in their eyes and shake their hand.
Okay.
That is a positive for you. Because when you stand up, it's showing respect.
Okay. I wanna just stop you there for a minute though and talk about the handshake, because when you meet someone and they shake your hand, it's like, they hold four fingers. what's
Mm-hmm.
It could.
No, the finger thing is a no-no.
Okay.
You don't want the grabbing someone's fingers. You don't want to do it. And you don't want the bone-crushing handshake either.
Right.
I had someone shaking my hand once, and for days out, my hand was hurting.
That must have been a very strong person.
Yeah, don't try to prove anything.
Okay.
You are doing a firm handshake,
Okay.
but not a bone-crushing handshake.
Mm-hmm.
That is a no-no. You'll be thrown out of the interview, or you can do the job. Goodbye.
Okay, alrighty. I got it.
It's not yeah. And you should always say your name.
Mm-hmm.
So you stand up, you extend your hand,
Mm-hmm.
look the person in the eye,
Mm-hmm.
you shake hand. My name is Tom Jones. Remember this. Your name is not Tom. Your name is Tom Jones.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You do
Yeah,
not
because
just your first name. Your name is Judith, da-da-da, Diana, da-da-da-da, Tom, da-da-da-da.
I wanted to say and comment on that, because a lot of people believe that because the American workplace seems to be so casual in terms of first names, where we grew up in Jamaica, we are accustomed to saying Mr. So-and-so or Mrs. So-and-so, but here it's a more casual, everybody calls everybody. I sometimes feel uncomfortable saying my entire name, seriously.
No, but when you're introducing yourself, you should say your entire name. Your name is the true name, your Christian name, as we say in Jamaica, and your surname. That's your name.
Yes, that's your name. Okay.
You don't have to give a title.
Mm-hmm.
A title is different.
Mm-hmm.
You say, my name is Mary Jane.
Right.
My name is Tom Jones. My name is John Doe.
And your name is not Mrs. So-and-so either, right?
No, no.
Because a lot of women like to do that.
So, well, we're not trying to say no, we want to give our name. Later on, that will come. There's a time and place for everything.
Exactly. Okay.
Right?
Alrighty. Great.
So, you now get that part out.
Mm-hmm.
Do not sit, never sit until you're invited to sit.
Okay. So you wait for the boss, prospective boss that invited you to lunch. You should wait until they give you the cue to sit down.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
They're going to sit first,
Mm-hmm.
and notice they'll sit, and then the next thing, when they use their hand or they say to you, have a seat, and they point in the direction, do not sit somewhere else. There is a reason for everything. Because they point to a chair
Mm-hmm.
where you need to sit. Don't think that, I want to sit close to this person. No, they say, please have a seat. You're going to sit in the direction that they're pointing you to sit.
Well, that's what I was doing a while ago. I was pointing my hand. That's the reason I'm sorry you're not on Skype, you see. But anyway, we understand.
Yeah, and it's funny. I can't see you because my system is down.
Okay, not a problem. Not a problem.
All right, so now we're at the point where the introduction is over,
Mm-hmm.
and we're seated and we're ready to begin.
Mm-hmm.
Never ask the first question.
Ha ha! Wow. That's powerful. Never ask the first question.
You are there, yes, to sell yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Sell whatever service you want to sell
Mm-hmm.
to impress them to hire you,
Okay.
or if it's product or whatever. But they invite you to the lunch.
Mm-hmm.
You should allow them the respect of doing their introduction.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. So-and-so or Miss So-and-so for coming this afternoon. We're glad to have you. Whatever they have in their mouth to say.
Right.
And allow them to say and start breaking the ice with you. Your time is going to come. They are going to say, Mr. So-and-so or Mrs. So-and-so, whatever the case is, could you tell me a little about yourself, or whatever the case is. They might even do small talk. They might even say, did you have a hard time getting here this morning? Was the traffic heavy? Whatever that might come up. Okay. Never say you had a problem getting there when it's not your fault.
Okay.
Take responsibility. Take responsibility. If it's a major thing that, the turnpike was shut down for hours and like almost the whole half of the county was barred from moving, or that's a different thing. But you are supposed to make sure that you're on time and you never had a problem getting there. Okay.
Because they're not interested in that.
If they hire you and they're sending you out to meet the client, you're going to have a problem with timing to get there to meet their client? No. So you want to make sure that you're doing right.
Okay.
From the get-go. So that's important. You're going to start. And when they tell you to tell them a little about yourself, don't say, oh, my name is John Tom or Mary Jane, as the case may be, and I work at so-and-so, and I'm here. Tell them about you. Nobody else knows about you than you. Tell them about you. It's not close-ended. You're supposed to elaborate. Tell them because you want them to hire you. So what did you do? My name is so-and-so. I came from a background of so-and-so, and so on. But try not to go all the way through to 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and non-stop. A good 1 minute roundup, and that is why you need to do your rehearsal and get it down pat so that you can impress those people when you get into that room. And don't think about the food.
Okay, so before we get to the food, I have 60 seconds to sell myself or give myself a profile. Is that what you're telling me?
A minute is good. A minute
is good. Okay, all right. Okay, so we're going to move to the food now. What do we do with that?
Yeah, I don't want you to think about the food. In my book, this is my secret I'm giving away internationally now. I try to get something in my stomach before I get there.
Well, I would order something that I don't have to mess around with. I just order something easy. That's what I'm thinking.
Well, we didn't get there yet. We're sitting there.
Okay.
But I'm saying, if you have the situation where you know you have a problem with the food thing, or you feel like, I'm thinking about what to order, or their menu looks good, and don't even concentrate on none of that.
Okay, focus on the interview.
Focus on the interview.
Okay.
That's the important thing. That is why you're there. And we're getting into the food and beverage now.
Okay.
You will be given a menu. Please, for crying out, for heaven's sake, listen and listen well. On that menu list, you're going to have things like spaghetti, more than likely, and all these saucy foods, and fish, or crispy stuff and all of that. Stay away from those. Stay away. Because you don't want to run into an accident. You don't want to be there twirling spaghetti in your fork and you can't get it right to get into your mouth. You do not want to sit there trying to eat with all this gravy all over the place. You don't want to eat fish and have that fishy smell on your breath. Those are food that you want to stay away from. You don't want to get all those crunchy stuff or nothing to use your fingers. You don't want no finger food. You want it to be clean and spotless.
Okay.
When you order your meal, I am begging you, use the proper utensils.
Okay, I'm going to have to ask you to talk a little bit louder because I'm getting like a signal issue here.
Okay.
All right? Okay.
Okay. I'm saying when you order your meal.
Good. That's better.
And you're ready to eat, make sure you're using the proper utensils.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're going to set the table for you.
Right.
And they're going to have, let's say you order shrimp, for example.
Mm-hmm.
If they're small, you can pick them up with a knife. You shouldn't eat fish because shrimp is a part of the fish family. But let's say you had ordered shrimp.
Mm-hmm.
And they give you the fork. You have a seafood fork on the table. Know which one is your seafood fork. Usually the seafood fork is to your right, extreme right.
Mm-hmm.
That's where that is usually placed. And it is different from the regular fork.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it has a different look.
Yes.
Yeah, it has like a little...
Don't use the salad or the main course fork to eat it. They're going to look up on it because they're going to send their expert to lunch with you.
Mm.
Don't take it for granted. So you use that fork. And if they put wine glass on the table,
Uh-huh.
or they might have sherry, red wine or white wine,
Mm-hmm.
don't even go there. Don't touch one of those glasses. And even if, oh no, it's okay, you can have a drink of wine. No, it's okay. Go ahead. Or you can order whatever. No. It's alcoholic beverage. Do not. Pass on it.
Do not partake of the alcohol.
Right. Pass on it.
Simple. Do not partake.
Now, yes. Your soup spoon.
Mm-hmm.
I find that a lot of people take the spoon that they should be using for something else and they're eating their soup. No, your soup spoon is usually to your right.
And it's normally a different shape from the one that you're going to use to eat your dessert.
Exactly.
Yes. Dessert, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's normally a different shape. That's a clue. And the seafood fork is normally a funny looking fork. So
yeah.
that's
right?
a clue.
And your salad fork is usually the one on the external to your left.
Yeah.
Your main course fork is usually closer to the plate.
Uh-huh.
Your dinner fork.
Yep.
So you need to know which your water goblet is always here. You can drink all the water you want.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm begging nobody. They had wine and they had a glass of wine. Oh, they bought the most expensive wine. Oh my God! You just gave away your job.
Well, I wouldn't get caught up with that. So because
I know you would.
Because I don't touch that alcohol thing at all. Forget it. So thank you, God. Yeah.
Now, I also want to point out that when you're in the restaurant,
Mm-hmm.
do not order expensive entrees. Because you think that, if they invite you out to lunch.
Oh, you must order the most expensive thing on the menu. You shouldn't do that on a date either. Okay, a real date.
That's right. Yes, you're right.
Because a lot of women, they go and they figure, okay, let me just order some Dom Perignon and some this and some that. And the guy's going, I ain't taking you out again. So I guess the employer is saying, okay, I won't be hiring you because then you're going to spend out all the expense account.
Yeah, I'm glad.
Oh my goodness! It's really, we're laughing, but it's really important to take these things into consideration, because whether you're trying to sell the Diana Wright Show to someone to rerun on their cable channel, or you're trying to get a job with ABC or whatever you're trying to do, there's always the right way to do it and the wrong way. So, sometimes people say, oh, Diana getting Judith from People 490 to come on and give these tips. I know it already. No, you don't. You don't. No. Yeah, so,
and another sin that you can commit, and I'm asking you to stay away from that, is the elbow thing on the table.
Okay, my grandmother always told me that.
Yes. Don't put your elbows on the table.
Yeah. Know this.
You may rest your hand there.
Yes.
You just rest your hand at the edge
of the table. This is the right way.
The elbow on there.
And don't slouch. Sit up straight.
And don't sit. Yes, And bring your food to your mouth.
Oh.
Do not get your
head down to the plate. You need to do this as opposed to this. Amen. Yes. Hallelujah. We're getting some good tips from People 490 today. Okay. All right. Because I tell you what, a lot of people, even though we think we know these things, we are in the habit of doing certain things at home or with our friends. And when we're tested, we forget the right way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, that's the reason you need People 490 people.
Don't start eating until your host or your hostess does.
Yeah.
Or till everyone is served.
Okay, let me ask you this though, Judith. If your prospective employer says to you, okay, my meal is going to take a little longer, you go ahead and eat. How do you handle that?
No, you wait.
Okay.
That's a test question.
Yeah, that's what I would normally do, but I just wanted to know if, that's the correct thing to do. You just wait.
No, that's a test question.
Okay, that's a test.
This is how that plays out. This is how that can play out.
Okay.
You're in a Fortune 500 company, and they hire you, and they're getting a big contract.
Right.
And that person or representative of that organization should meet you for lunch. And you are there to impress them and to get them to buy into whatever it is you're selling. And they, I just laugh because the situation something came up, and I'm just seeing it now in my mind how it had played out. So just please, the bottom line is, wait. Do not eat before your host or your hostess, and make sure everybody is served before you start.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, because I'm going to give a funny joke right now, and you better laugh, okay? Everybody out there, internationally and in the U.S. No, seriously, everybody needs to laugh, because I have a good friend, rest her soul, Norma Shirley, one of the classiest ladies you'll ever want to meet. She had the best restaurant in Jamaica, the most cultured, the most high-class restaurant. And she gives me the joke, because I always went to visit her, because when I go to visit her after my show or anything, she'll just make me feel good, and she'll go to her refrigerator and just whip up some lamb chops and stuff like that. But she always gave me funny jokes. And one of the funniest ones she gave me, she said, a certain bank owner, she didn't say bank manager, he owns the bank, came to lunch and asked her, what's for dessert? And she said to him, wait a minute now, don't laugh yet, Judith. And she said to me, I am so sorry, I have not been to the Sahara lately. Do you mean what we have on the dessert menu? Oh my God, I thought, how did you do that to the bank owner? She's like, and I just walked away. But you have to know.
Something right there.
I'm serious, so I laughed for days over that thing. I would lie in my bed and I would think about it, and I'm going, oh my God, he's the owner of the bank. Didn't he know he needs some etiquette classes from people 490?
And some of the people are like that. They think they know and all is well, and they don't realize that they go out there and they're embarrassing themselves in front of people who know.
Exactly, and people tell people, and people know who you are.
Yes, and I think it's not a big deal. It's a big deal to some people because there are people who know these things.
Yes.
And they will not tolerate anything otherwise.
Exactly. She just made me laugh. I laughed that day until I thought I was going to just pee my pants. Seriously. Oh,
I just don't know what it is like. I just laugh.
Yes. So people, you really need to do this because it's good. I know a friend of mine in Jamaica who became successful like overnight. And he had to go out and get himself all these fabulous suits and, shirts and ties and make sure he's well groomed, because he goes to get his facials and stuff. And then I said to him, I hope you got some etiquette classes. He said, no, I never thought of that. So it's just what it is. People just don't think it's important. And it really is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
the next thing is pace yourself so that you do not finish
eating before the other person. No, don't gobble down that food now.
Try to pace that you finish with everybody.
Yeah.
Don't go shop, and you finish. You need to pace yourself.
No gobbling.
No matter how hungry you are, that's a discipline that you have to tolerate at that point. You have to put out at that point. Very important.
Yeah.
So I encourage the listeners to, do these things. And do not push your dish away to signal that you finish.
Keep it in front of you. Well, I could get caught there. I could really get caught there. Okay, you're sounding a little panny right now, so you need to get the phone back somewhere there.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I would get caught there, Judith, because I hate to eat and have my dirty plate in front of me. So I might get caught. But Judith from People 490 is telling us that the proper etiquette, keep that dirty plate in front of you. Don't push it away. Don't do what I would do.
I'm going to come and get it. They will come and get it.
Yeah. So, keep that in mind. All right. Okay, Madame Judith, what else do you have to share with us today? Very good stuff today. Very good stuff. Hope you're listening and contacting People 490. Any seminars coming up or anything that you'd like to share?
Yes, we have seminar coming up in October.
Okay. You mean this month? Yeah. You mean like this October here?
Yes, it's October 25th. And this one, it has to do with customer service.
Okay.
It's going to be strictly customer service that we're going to put in. So it's 25th of October.
Yes, October 25th. What time?
At 11 o'clock.
11 o'clock,
11 o'clock. And they can call us and we can give them more detail. The location might change, so I don't want to give the location.
Okay, so just give us a telephone number then.
Last week it had to change, yes. Last week we had to change because there were so many calls. We had to change the location.
Okay, so go ahead and give us the phone number.
754-223-2410. That's 754
223
2410.
Okay. All right, I'm losing you on the call, so
I'm sorry, let me try it again. 754-223-2410.
Okay, that's better. Yeah.
And the web is people490.com.
All right. People490.com. Easy as cheese. All right, so.
Yes.
Okay, Madame Judith, I know you have to run, so thank you so much for joining us today.
Yes. Thank you, and I hope that I'll be able to speak up a little clearer. My phone won't be knocking me out sometimes.
Okay, I hope one of these days I could get you on Skype, because that's always better. But anyway, we'll take what we
my face. Now I'm going to stay behind the curtain.
Yes, we'll take what we can get for right now.
Behind the curtain, lady.
Okay, behind the curtain. Oh, come from behind the curtain. Okay. All right, have a blessed day, and thank you so much for calling and sharing with us.
Bye-bye.
Okay, take care. That was Judith from People 490. Of course, you heard all the tips, and she has a seminar for customer service coming up on the 25th. But, we'll give you information about that as it gets closer. Yeah, other events are getting closer too. So we got to remind you of things around here, and we're going to take a break right now and come back in just a moment as we do it right here on the Diana White Show Live. Thank you so much from around the world and in the United States for joining me. Hello everyone, this is a season of giving, and I'm asking you to consider one of your gifts to be Deadly Negligence, written by yours truly, Diana White. A story that will give you hope, make you mad, shock you sometimes, but is bound to increase your faith and make you believe in miracles again. So please, give Deadly Negligence as a gift, as the gifting season begins to heat up. I am depending on you to do this for me. Thank you so much, and be the proud person to give a gift of the book Deadly Negligence. It's available on Amazon.com and on my website dianawritetv.webs.com. Thank you so much for my viewers around the world and in the United States. Be blessed. Okay, we are back. Yes, we are back with you, and we would like to remind you of my book signing that's coming up on the 19th of October in Plantation, Florida. And it's going to be at 700 Southwest 78th Avenue in a wonderful building called Midtown 24 in the Alibi Room. So come and join me and have some fun. And of course, Dax Dunn will be there to, host a raw food tasting. Yeah, we're going to have that. Don't come and expect. It's 6 o'clock in the evening. We know you're going out. So you just stop there, get your book signed, or buy your book and get it signed. If you have a book already, just bring it. I'll sign it for you. I'll give you my autograph. Yes, I'll do that. And whatever you want written in the book, I'll do that too. So we look forward to seeing you then. And coming up also on Saturday, my goodness, I've been talking about it for so long that it seems like, wow, it's here. October 5, the White fundraising event, courtesy of Save a Life Jamaica Foundation and Novelet Gale and her people. They will be there to usher you in a great party. So we wish them well, and we hope they have a great party, and we hope that you will join them. And if you can't make the party, don't forget to make your donation on their website, Save a Life Jamaica Foundation, and it's all for a good cause. There's a young woman in Jamaica that has a brain injury where they're raising money to help her and other people. So do your best, dig deep in your pocket, and when you give, you feel so much better. Thank you so much for that. Okay, so I'm going to give you a scenario here, and I would like you to think about it real simply. First of all, before I do that, AEG, the entertainment company that hired Michael Jackson to do that tour that he was going to do before he was killed by his addiction to Propofol. Okay. They won. They're found not guilty. That's a good thing. Because why should they be held responsible for the behavior of Mr. Jackson and his doctor? Yeah, they hired the doctor, but they didn't say to the doctor, give him some propofol, make him sleep, and don't wake up. They never did that. So kudos to see the law is working well. But anyway, I'm going to give you this scenario. I have a company that I truly hate. I hate that company so much. I go out and I badmouth the company. I said the company should be shut down since '09, and I hate the company. I go online, I go on every TV show, and I talk bad about the company. But then I find myself wanting a job with the same company. Does that ring a bell? The government. The Republicans since '09 wanted, planned it, did everything they could to shut it down. They hate it. They despise government. But my golly, they want a government job that pays them a good pension and gives them health care for life that we don't have. Now, how does that ring through to you? And can you imagine if you call up all your creditors and say, okay, the debt ceiling is coming up, yeah, but I ain't going to pay my bills. What do you think will happen to you? Is there a way to fire these Republicans who are acting like they're crazy? They're not acting like, they are crazy. Because for them to do this is just insanity. In any language, French, Spanish, Greek, German, I don't care, Russian, whatever language you speak, this is crazy. What the fringe of the party is doing. Was it 17 people, they said, voted with Ted Cruz, and 25 or 24 are sane? And they just realized yesterday that he had no strategy, so they all got mad with him. And remember Grover Norquist? One of those guys who have some power with those Republicans? Can't he speak some sense into them? Because he is actually talking sense for the first time. Obamacare, the Affordable Care Act, ACA, it's here to stay. Keywords: affordable, second word, care, and it's not really an act because it is the law of the land. So what shall we do, Republicans? Should we just spend the rest of our lives trying to repeal and defund Obamacare, or should we get back to issues that affect everyday people? Immigration might ring a bell. Gun control might ring a bell. How about some infrastructure, fixing all them bridges that needs to be repaired? How about that? And Republicans are talking about, oh, I heard Sarah Palin. I don't even want to repeat what she said, because I guess Ted Cruz is a male counterpart to Sarah Palin. So you go for a strategy, or you go for a thing that you know is not achievable, because you don't have the White House and you don't have the Senate and you really don't have the House, because most of the people don't agree with what you're doing. But you do it anyway, because you're the smartest guy from Harvard and Princeton, and you don't hang out with them fools who went to City College or NYU or maybe Columbia. Huh? Who knew that this could happen? I knew. Because you see, when you love yourself, my brothers, you really need, all the Republicans need to look in the mirror right now and say, I really hate me. But I'm going to listen to that girl named Diana Wright, who has a little show online called The Diana Wright Show. And she's promoting a thing called International I Love Me Day. So guess what? Instead of hating myself so much and hating Barack Obama so much, I'm going to look in the mirror every day and do what she says and see what happens. And say the magic words, I love me. Ted Cruz, Mike Lee, and all you other crazy, Michelle Bachmann, Sarah Palin, and Mrs. Romney, you might need to do the same. Sell your cookbook and leave the politics out of it. She's selling a cookbook and she's talking about if her husband was there and we didn't get the chance to know him. My golly, if we knew anything more about Mitt Romney, maybe we really would not like him. So we're going to take another break and come back in just a moment. Yes, we do it so, right here on the Diana Wright Show. Thank you again for joining us today and getting those wonderful tips from People 490. Yes. Hello, everyone. It doesn't matter who you are, how rich you are, how poor you are. But there has to be a point in your life, and you will come to that point, where you have to take someone you love to the hospital. But have you ever considered that you could take that loved one, in my case, my only child, to the hospital in a normal state, and then you leave 5 months later, brain damaged, in a wheelchair, without your senses? This is my true story, Deadly Negligence, the book, available on Amazon and at my website, dianawrighttv.webs.com. I'm asking you today to get a copy. Support my story. Let us get this out there, because this story will captivate you. It will shock you. It will give you hope. It will increase your faith and make you believe in miracles again. Thank you for picking up your copy today. And just in case you know Oprah Winfrey or Tyler Perry or Mr. Levinson, let them know this is worth a movie. Thank you. Get your copy today. Alrighty, we are back and we are live. Don't forget, we're live every day from Monday to Friday, 10:30. We're live, and then if you miss the live show, please don't feel bad. Just go on my website, dianawrighttv.webs.com, and you will see all the shows you've missed, including the one that we just did today in the afternoon. Yeah, we can get that done for you. And we're on top of our game right now. Okay? So just go on and take a look. And are you forgetting my I Love Me t-shirts? Don't wait until the last minute now, to order it, because you figure, oh, it's April 2014, 30th, April 30th, Diana, I have lots of time to get one. You need to get your t-shirts now. So you have it, it's secured, and on the April 30th, 2014, the second year of our celebration, you will get up, stand up, and look in that mirror and be so confident about loving yourself. And everywhere you wear that shirt to, we have the wife beaters and we have the ones with the sleeve for those of you who are more conservative. And wow, we are just going to make you love you and make no apologies for it either. So, yeah. While you're listening to those guys talk to you about how bad government is, and all those congressmen who are retiring telling you how they hate government, but they're going home with a government pension that's, 3 or 4 times bigger than yours? And they're going home with lifetime health care that's better than yours. So Tea Partiers, guess what I'm asking you to do? I'm asking you to open your mind, get your brain in gear, and stop listening to politicians who are lying to you and their wives. How the hell would she know if Mitt Romney was president there would be no government shutdown and Obamacare would have been repealed and defunded? Hello? As far as I know, the Supreme Court said it was constitutional to be the law of the land. I don't know about these people who are entitled. Think they are entitled anyway. Okay, so guess what? Administration officials now live in fear of a 19th century law that could get them fired. I love this. I'm going to read this. No, I'm going to go over this 10 times. Penalized or even imprisoned if they make the wrong choices while the government is shut down. The law is, called the Anti-Deficiency Act. Let me repeat that. Anti-Deficiency Act, passed by Congress in 1870 and amended several times, which prohibits the government from incurring any monetary obligation for which Congress has not appropriated funds. In shutting down the government, most memos cite the law as a reason. The Government Accountability Office says employees who violate the Anti-Deficiency Act may be subject to disciplinary action, suspension, or even fines, imprisonment, or both. Now, CNBC broke this story because they learned that in several executive branch departments, high-level staff members review individual decisions about what government activities to allow for fear of running afoul of the Anti-Deficiency Act. One White House official said he has advised his employees not to check their email or cell phones because they're paid for by the government. Under the act, even volunteering for government service is expressly prohibited. In a memo to his department employees today, actually yesterday, Treasury Secretary Jack Lew, the man with the funny signature, cited the law as a reason for reducing staffing. For the duration of this impasse, he says, as required by the Anti-Deficiency Act and directed by OMB, which is the Office of Management and Budget, the department will be required to operate with only the minimal staffing level necessary to execute only certain legally exempted activities. That's what Lew wrote. The only exemptions to the shutdown concern emergencies involving the safety of human life or the protection of property. According to the government documents, that has meant airports and the postal services are open, Social Security checks get paid, and federal prisons and courts will operate as normal, as do most national security functions, including the military and the Central Intelligence Agency. But national parks and museums are closed, along with big parts of the Departments of Education and Commerce. Congress passed the law as part of a struggle dating back to the nation's founding for control, the founding fathers, for control over the power of the purse. Some presidents, such as Abraham Lincoln during the Civil War, would incur obligations for which Congress had to appropriate funds after the fact. What is ironic in that Congress is shutting down, the government has to at least, to some extent, given up the power of the purse to the executive branch. Hello, who knew? That story, I'm going to be reading it and reading it and reading it again so you get it in your cranium. And guess what? I'm going to be brave. I'm going to take one more break and then come back in just a slither of a moment. How about that? We got to do that. We'll be back in just a moment. Remember, April 30th, 2014 is International I Love Me Day. I want you to start thinking about what will you do special for you on that day. Share it with me on Facebook and Twitter. And join the conversation on the Diana Wright Show, Monday through Friday, 10:30 a.m. We are live. The number to call, 561-228-1921. That's 561-228-1921. Join the conversation. Like us on Facebook. And follow me on Twitter. Alrighty. Follow me on Twitter. Twitter. Get tweeting with me. Follow me on Twitter. Final story for the day. I got to read this one really quickly. A 12-year-old from Stamford, Connecticut was arrested yesterday. Oh no, make that Tuesday. After police say she continually bullied, taunted, and harassed another student while at school. Police said the victim's parents contacted the department to report the bullying on September 20th. Both students attend a private middle school. This is not public school now. The bullying intensified while police and school administrators investigated, pushing the victim to make suicidal comments, and this according to the police. The preteen was charged with disorderly conduct and was released to the custody of her parents. The police department captain Richard Conglin said this: "This behavior, quote, will not be tolerated by Stamford Police Department." Hooray to you in Stamford, Connecticut. He said, "If it is brought to our attention, we will vigorously investigate the allegations and make arrests when appropriate. We investigate all claims of bullying, and this type of behavior will not be condoned in a learning environment." My wow. Praise the name. Connecticut. Stamford, Connecticut. And that chief. We thank you. So the bullies around the world, including the Tea Partiers in Congress, you need to stand up to those bullies, arrest them, charge them, cut their legs off, and make them open up the government. And Mr. President, do not back down. If you love something, set it free. If it comes back, it's yours. If it doesn't, it was never yours. This is Diana Wright live on the Diana Wright Show. TDWS. Yeah. Thank you for joining me today. Hope you have a blessed day. And hope you are blessed in your heart, in your soul, in your mind. And don't forget, it's always better to love than to lust. Because when you lust after things, they never last. They go away, they disappoint you. But when you love something or someone, it comes back. So if you love something, set it free. If it comes back, it's yours. If it doesn't, it was never yours. Take care and say the magic words right now. I love me.